Like I even had a bite of that donut over the weekend. First donut I've had in 8 years. Hi, good morning. This is my blanket bag. I also put in all this stuff for cold capping. Kiddos, so you guys know it's chemo day for me, so I might be sleepy when you guys get home, but Daddy will be here.
How do you feel coming into this building now?
You know, every morning before chemo, I get a little anxious. It used to be, this is where I gave birth. It used to be, this building is where I gave birth to both my kids, so it used to be such like a happy place to visit. Now it is anxiety provoking. Hi, I'm Gudrun Snyder. I'm the founder of Moon Rabbit Acupuncture, and I'm a mother of 2 and a wife. I live in Chicago, and I have cancer.
Hi, friend.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I'm so glad to be here with you.
I'm glad to be here with you too. And you know, the first thing I gotta say is I walk in this space and it's dedicated to health and wellness, this space that you created. But then I can't help in the same thought think, you must be pissed.
Oh yeah.
You're pissed. Your life is dedicated to this.
Absolutely.
And then bam, it's back at your doorstep.
It feels almost like ironic in some way.
Yeah.
But it also says to me that we can try so hard and sometimes these things are just so random.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's, what do we do with it?
Yeah.
Do we let it take over our lives and destroy us? Or can we continue on and bring something good from it? The silver lining sort of thing, right?
Right. Did you have that right away?
No.
Or in the beginning?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
At first I was crying and so angry. And I don't know if we've talked about this before, but that 8 years ago when I was first diagnosed.
Yeah. Well, let's start there.
Yes.
Let's start there. Let's go to talk about the first time.
I'd had a baby and I had been breastfeeding for about a year. And then when I finished breastfeeding, I saw this little dimple in my breast.
I didn't even take into consideration all the planning
It's a whole thing.
that has to go into it.
It's a whole thing.
Is this something you learned or did someone tell you this? Like, girl, you're gonna need some stuff.
It's such a good question. I read all the Reddit walls, I Google searched, but there's really no like guide to what to bring for everything. It's interesting, the first time around, I found my own lump, I had a mastectomy, I was on hormone therapy for years and years and years. And during that time, I'd actually found a tiny little lump years ago. But one of my physicians told me it was just a stitch. That area that was a stitch got bigger over the summer. It could have been a stitch, but I didn't say, well, how do you know it's a stitch? Should we get some imaging? I didn't ask any questions, I just said, okay, which I shouldn't have.
Right, because doctors are there to not only work for us, but work with us.
That's right.
And make sure that we understand the process.
Yes.
And if you have a doctor who's not doing that,
Then find somebody else.
you can find someone else, which is
Yes.
hard,
Yeah.
easier said than done.
Very true.
But putting forth the question so you understand, or bringing your friend,
Yes.
putting someone on the phone
Yes.
that might help you understand it.
Okay, so right now I'm putting on, these have cold packs in them.
Okay.
And this is to help reduce the amount of chemo that goes to my hands and feet because this chemo can cause neuropathy. Someone said something to me that she's like, you have to start to finish. And so I just have to do it. And then it will be over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to tell yourself that every
Oh,
morning?
I tell myself that in the mornings.
Yeah.
I tell myself that through this entire process, because it's kind of awful. Your hair falls out, your appetite goes away, the extreme nausea, my tongue swelled up so much I couldn't eat. You name it.
I need help, Mom.
Oh, jeez.
Can you do it?
You have to empty this bag out, Sana.
I already did.
I love you. Give me a kiss, goodbye.
I
I love you. Mwah.
So where are you at now
Yeah.
in the process?
I finished chemo on January 13th, which was 3 weeks ago, and I start radiation today.
Okay.
So I will have radiation every day for 20 days.
You have friends that come in with you.
I have my girl squad.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so tell me about them.
I have my girl squad. So my husband offered to come to every treatment with me, but I was like, you have to take care of me at home.
Yeah.
Why don't I give you a break? and everyone was asking me how they can be there for me. And so I have my girlfriends come and essentially do like an hour-and-a-half rotation throughout the day because I'm here for the whole day. And they sit with me, we chat, and it makes the day go by really fast.
I think the thing that's most helpful is when someone's like, I'm gonna send you this. Do you actually need this or no, right? It can be helpful for the check-in. It's not, you're never bothering me, because then I have to figure out what to do with all the blankets.
And not just a gift. I would imagine that goes for time, food, can I pick up the kids? Any of those
Everything,
things.
yes.
Like,
And for me, it's been the most helpful when someone's just like, I'm doing this for you, versus do you want me to do this? You know? And I'm like, okay, it's happening.
Right.
Here's what we have. We have my lovely bald head.
okay.
Then I have a very thin cap here for layer number 1, layer number 2, but they're really, really thin because we want the cold to hit my head, but without any hair protecting it, it's too cold. And it's negative 27 degrees.
Because you're using dry ice.
So we're using dry ice. So it could literally give me frostbite if I don't protect my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some insane cold. I'm surprised you can even stand it with that on your head.
If they put it on and it's really, really cold, sometimes it feels like an ice cream headache.
Yeah.
It gets hard sometimes. Like, for example, I'm supposed to cold cap for 3 hours after I do this.
3 additional hours. You
And
have
I'm-
to change the ice out?
And I'm already, no, the dry ice is good, but you have to change this every,
25 minutes we change it.
yes.
Are you serious?
And then I'm supposed to do it for 3 hours after chemo. I did it for the other kind.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not, because I'm already getting chemo for 3 hours. That's a 6 hours with this thing on.
Yeah.
And I've already lost my hair. It's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable for your head.
Yeah.
How many people are doing this?
You know, everyone, I shouldn't say everyone. I think it really depends on where you are in your cancer journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think for some people who've been doing this a long time, it's just, this juice is not worth the squeeze,
Yeah.
you know?
So with hormone positive cancers, it means that our hormones, even our natural ones, make the cancer grow. So I had the choice of taking medications until I go through menopause naturally, which could be 10 years, et cetera, or just removing my ovaries.
Okay.
And for me, the idea of having a surgery and just being done feels better.
Is there a question of, I don't want to sound insensitive, but like losing a womanhood or what it means to be
Everyone
connected?
feels really different about
Yeah.
that. I know that I have patients and friends who it affects them significantly. I had my mastectomy years ago, and for some people that can be devastating. For me, because I had a young child, my goal was to see my children grow up, and I would do anything
Right.
to do that. Even if it means I'm not quite as sexual and, you know, fabulous as I once was, it's okay with me.
Does all this treatment, the surgeries you've gone through, affect your desire for sex?
Affects my desire, it affects, so I'm numb all the way around here, and that is,
Really?
so that's affected, right? And I was lucky I got to keep my nipples. A lot of people with mastectomies don't even get to keep their
Yeah.
nipples, so there's a discomfort of being unclothed, right? And it has changed me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm really blessed that I have a husband who is okay and,
Yeah.
you know, has made me feel beautiful and desired throughout this entire thing. Even being bald, he's like, you look great bald. Maybe you should keep it that way, right? But
Oh.
not everybody gets that. And
Yeah.
I know how lucky I am.
Does sex cause pain or
Oh my God, sex is so uncomfortable.
really?
It's because, I mean, you dry up. There's lots of things you can do. You can go on certain medications, no hormonal medications, because the hormone makes it grow, lubes, things, but it's never going to be the same.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You find connection in a
You
different
find
way.
connection in other ways. My husband's a big cuddler. I'm really not, but I'm working on it.
You know, it does not surprise me. The more I know you, you would
really a
think
big
someone like
cuddler.
you would be a big cuddler.
I'm very warm as
Yes.
a person,
Yes.
but I'm not very physically affectionate. And that's just always been who I am, but I've worked on it because I'm not as sexually affectionate either. I have to
Right.
make sure my partner feels desired too.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've grown to like the cuddling?
Oh no, I still hate it. But I like last night, I let him cuddle me for like a whole 30 seconds before I was like, "Ah!"
What has been the hardest part?
The hardest part is being so sick. And today I'm having a good day, but on bad days, it feels like it will never end. You know when you get the flu?
Yeah.
And you're so miserable and you're like, when am I gonna feel better? You can't actually even remember what it's like to feel good. That's the hardest part, is that I can't even remember what it's like to feel good on a bad day. And those are hard days.
You get lost in it.
I get lost, and those are the days that I don't feel strong. I remember running into a friend from high school, and I was on my way to a doctor's appointment, and he was like, how are you? And I was having a bad day, and I just burst into tears, which I don't think he was ready for.
Right, yeah.
He really held space for me, which was great, but I was having a bad day. And when someone asked me how I was doing, I was not doing okay.
Do you think people are prepared for the answer most times? Because we all say that every day.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you? How are you? And it's like, oh, I'm good. And you pass on. But there's a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
And someone asking you, how are you?
I think sometimes people are just expecting like the strong answer. Oh, I'm doing good, I'm getting through it. I think when I cry unexpectedly, people are surprised but not upset by it, right? I think they're like, oh, I didn't realize this was what's happening right now in this moment, right?
Where did you find the most comfort? What brought you the most comfort?
What a good question. I really liked being distracted. So whether it was when I saw my girlfriends not talking about me, but talking about them and whatever drama or whatever was going on, or coming and seeing my patients and talking about what's going on with them was so helpful, because living so much in my body, and I'm someone who's very present and aware, it got to be too much. And I was like, I don't want to think about me all the time.
Yeah.
I want to think about other things, even silly things, right? Like, I don't know, blonde wigs. You know, I wanted something to distract me. Yeah.
And speaking of wigs,
Yes.
I'd love for you to talk me through that.
I would love to show, because I think what I learned a lot about wigs and bald heads and everything is when you're going through this, to be really proactive before you feel too sick. If you are planning on wearing a wig, do it before you feel sick and before you lose your hair. And if you are lucky enough to live near somebody who can do a proper wig fitting, it makes a huge difference.
Wow, okay, do we have names?
I knew you were gonna ask that, and everybody asked me. I've never named them.
Okay.
I wanted this to be more of like my J-Lo look.
Yes.
And this is more of like my Lucy Liu look, but they never got like proper names.
Okay. And it feels like
These are real
is this
human
real
hair.
human hair.
These are real human
so
hair.
These are those people that grow their hair out and
Yes.
donate it. And
Thank you to all of those people. It is such a gift.
Locks for
These
love.
get locks for love. It is a game changer, because the synthetic ones, I never actually bought a synthetic, though I do recommend for most people to get a synthetic if you're gonna wear wigs on a regular basis. The synthetic ones, though, like if you go near an oven, they can like melt and light on fire.
Oh my gosh.
I wear my wigs so rarely that it didn't feel like I needed. I mean, I bought like a blonde synthetic one, but I already trashed it because they go bad very quickly too.
Okay.
They are a temporary solution versus like a human hair. You can, if you keep them in good shape, they can last you years,
Wow.
right?
And how much do these cost?
They are wildly expensive. They can cost anywhere for $1,000 to $7,000
Whoa.
per wig.
So most people
For real
can't
hair.
do that.
Most people can't. And my hope is I'm gonna grow my hair back and I'll be able to donate these to someone who can't afford one, because I was blessed that my friends bought me one. And then my dad bought me the other one.
Oh, that's
So
great.
super lucky. These ones, were the ones that I bought from the wonderful woman who, she's an Orthodox Jew. She wears wigs every day. So she taught me not only how to style them, how to wash them, how to even put one on, which is different than I thought it would be. I thought you just put a wig, like put it on your head.
I mean like a Halloween,
Right.
you know, like those wigs we put on.
But you have to like flip it over. You got to make sure it fits the right way. Now I'll show you.
Okay.
But it's a different process than I anticipated. And I was so lucky that I live in a city where I have access to people who can help me.
I'm into J-Lo.
Okay.
Lucy Liu seems
I
great
love it.
too.
I love it.
And
Okay.
I hope to meet her one day.
So for me, they get really itchy. So
Yeah.
I put on some oil on my head first to prevent any like dryness from increasing the itch.
Okay.
Plum oil is great because it's good for your scalp. These are all like my little Chinese medicine
Yes.
thing. And rosemary oil is another one that's really good because that actually can help your hair come back.
Grow.
Yes,
Grow.
and they're both totally safe, non-toxic. They're not going to interact with any medications or anything like that. So those are good
And now
ones.
you have some, I
I
see
have
some
little
hair.
patches. I know. I have
I
hope,
do see hair.
but I also have these like really shiny bald patches that like really there's nothing there, right?
I see follicles.
I love your
yeah.
positivity. I hope so.
To me,
right?
it looks, but
Yes.
I'm not an expert, clearly.
No, I
so.
hope it grows back.
Yeah.
There's a little bit there.
And is there is there a normal timeline? Like if it's
Within
not-
6 months.
Okay.
So it could
So
take
you're
up to
not
6
even-
months.
you're
I
not
know.
even-
I just want to be there now.
It's been like 2 weeks.
I know.
I know. But you want to know. I understand.
I want to know. And
you
I
want
want
to know.
And it's helpful. All right, you ready?
Throw it on. Yeah.
Okay. So
Come on, J-Lo.
these are amazing. This is a lace front wig. And it makes it so you look like you almost have a hairline, these
Got it.
lace
Yes.
right here.
If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you also learn about
Yes,
these
you learn
same
about
things.
all of these things,
Yes.
right? And then on the inside here, this has, so it, like almost like a bra strap. You can change how tight it is on your head, which
Okay.
is really nice. So they can be a little bit fitted, more or less, depending on how much hair
And then
you
it
have, right?
stays on your head.
And then it stays on your head. So you do it like this, and there we go. Alrighty, so now I gotta fix it.
Yeah. Wow.
I know, it's a whole thing. There we go. And now I'm a wigalicious lady.
Really fantastic.
It's a really good wig. These are really good wigs. I love them because I actually dyed this wig, and I had.
you went and.
Yes, I went and got it dyed.
And can I?
Yeah. And because it's a lace top, it looks like you have scalp. So you can change the part.
Wow.
All of these things. I think one of the scariest things when you're first diagnosed is not knowing what to expect and what to prepare for.
Yeah.
And so while going down the Google search rabbit hole is not good, I think finding resources, whether it's a book of someone who's gone through it or a support group for realistic expectations for how to set yourself up for success. I got more childcare.
Yeah.
Just in advance. I didn't travel, and I purposefully canceled some stuff just so I wouldn't feel bad coming up close to it and then being like, I can't make it.
Right.
I really proactively tried to allow myself as much ability to rest as possible. If anyone ever has questions out there, they can look me up and send me messages. People have already done so, and I'm so happy, if I can be helpful, to be helpful in whatever way, even if it's just someone to discuss, right?
Leaning back and helping pull up the other person. 'Cause
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, cancer is not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, it's not. And I'm sure you're familiar because it's all of in the news, though, of course, I'm sure my social media is targeting me because that's all I'm reading about. But the young adult incidence of cancer is going up so much right now. It's in the food we eat, it's in the air we breathe, it's everything. So we just have to be ready to be strong, right? To be really, really strong, and we can do hard things.
I love that. Thank you for being so honest and
Thank you.
open.
I always love being with you. You make me feel so comfortable.
Well, I feel that what you're doing is really wonderful, and it hits me. You're trying to help people be their best, most healthiest version of themselves, and then to see you in the struggle, I do see the irony in that, like you.
Yeah.
And I think someone like you should be celebrated.